What are you doing now?
Building a lobster trap, Shannon. I want some lobster. This is gonna work. You have to catch them quick. I got bait. Got a stick of butter in there. I'll wait till the lobster crawls in there. Guess what happens? Caught him just like that. Slams down on his head. You know, there might be an easier way. Stick around, I'll show you. You know, a lot of times I get to hankering for something special that I think will mean the world to Shan, and that's what she loves more than anything, crab legs. Too dry down here in this part of the world, I ain't got no crab legs, and I really like some lobster. I ain't got none of them neither. Best thing I got to take the place is crawdad. This is dry, it ain't rained here in forever. Crawdad's done went south, I promise you. So what we're gonna do? Hey, we are gonna make us something that's just as good as that. I call it poor man lobster, but you can call it poor man's crab, and it is so simple, so easy. You can find it in the grocery store, or if you live up north, go catch you one of them. A lot of people use halibut, but since I ain't got no halibut, I'm going to use some cod today. Works just as well. It's a good white flaky fish. That's what you need to start with. You know that stuff is pretty high, do you? Just go buy it somewhere. But this is affordable, it's cheap, so come on over and let's get started. All right, folks, so let's get after this deal of poor man's lobster, crab leg, whatever you want to call them, and get you a stock pot that's pretty good size because we got a boil this in there. But if it's too little, this stuff boil over real quick and it'll make a mess on the stove, I promise you. You first got to have something in there that's going to change the texture plus change the taste a little. So what's that be? We're going to start with a cup of sugar in some boiling water, but we got to have a little acid to change the texture of what we're trying to do, and that is some lemon. Just drop her in there. We're going to stir that sugar and stuff around just a minute to make sure that it's all melted, because you want to make sure this is really a good hard boil before you even start this process, because it don't cook long. One cup of sugar and about a half a lemon in here. Let that get back to a good boil again. Then we're going to come right over here. I take this cod, always pat it dry with a paper towel, something like that, and I'm just going to cut it into about 1-inch chunks. Most everybody uses halibut, but I'm using cod. And I'm pretty sure you could do this with nearly any whitefish, but it's got to have enough texture to it and size that you can cut it in about 1-inch by 1-inch cube. So if you catch you an old walleye, something like that, because they're a good white flaky fish too, cut you some big squares out of there, I bet you can get by with that. But you can get this at the grocery store. You got a fish market, go there, get it fresh. It'll even be better. Now folks, when we get ready to drop this cod in there, one thing you got to remember is don't stir it. If you're stirring this deal, you're messing up the whole process. You'll cause some of it to break down. So we're just going to drop them in there. And you can see them. What they do? Sink. Now when them little fellers go to floating back to the top, guess what? We got lobster. It don't take long. And it's pretty foolproof. They'll jump right back up there to the top like a bobber on a fishing string when they pull it under. So it'll take it a little while to get back to boiling after we drop this cold fish in there. But remember, don't stir it. And when it floats back to the top, little goodness is surfaced. You can see, folks, if you ain't paying attention, what did Grandma tell you? A watch pot never boils, but you ain't watching it, it'll boil over. So we're going to turn that heat down just a little to where we can keep it from boiling over. Then let's take this here scoop and run around here and see if anybody has surfaced yet, and they haven't, but it's coming. And if you want to, you can dip that foam off there and throw it in the sink, whatever you want to do, but most of the time it'll disappear if you just reach. But if Shan will zoom in here, we have some creatures trying to float to the top. Look at them. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to turn the heat up a little more, get them to jump back up here where I can see them. When they float and they stay on top like this little creature here, when he's floating there on top and he ain't went nowhere closer else to the bottom, here's what I call a done deal. Here's his brother. He decided he would join him. Now you want to try to remember, if you got a whole bunch of this, keep that warm somewhere, because these need to be served hot if they can. Sometimes it's good to count them before you ever put them in there. That way you know you need to do how much fishing you got left to do. But they'll all surface and come right back up there, so you don't have to look for none of them. Now I have put these on a paper towel, let them strain a little. I know people that put them on a wire rack or something like that to let that juice get off of them. So we have got our little poor man's imitation here. First thing we're going to do, a little lemon all over the top of him. Now, I like lemon pepper with mine also, good sprinkling. But Shan, bless her heart, I know she's a little off, but she likes some dill seed on hers, so I'm going to divide the plate what I call even, me to her. That's me, this is her. Give her a little sprinkle of dill seed on there, one of them fancy lobster forks. Dip her in the butter. I just went to Red Lobster. I didn't stand in line. I didn't have to wear one of them little fancy bibs. I ain't got none of them lobster claws on me or nothing. But I'm guaranteeing you folks, you break this out anytime, people will thank you. This is what I call fine dining, and it was easy and simple. Well, folks, hope you learned something here today, because I did. I can take Shannon out to eat crab legs or lobster. We don't have to crack them. Remember, got to have that lemon in there to change the texture of this fish. Anything you do if you're trying to make it look like an imitation of something else. But also, don't stir it. That is very important. You'll break some of this down. They'll always tell you when they're done, because they'll jump right up to the top. You can season it with whatever you want, but I would suggest you use lemon and lemon pepper, something like that. Now, Shan, she does like the dill on here. I'll leave that out there to you folks on your own. It's simple, it's easy. Hey, get your kids in here and let them help you. I don't care. It'll be a good treat. We thank you for stopping by our newly remodeled kitchen that me and Shannon, the Beagle, and Frank worked on really hard. And guess what? Y'all can't see the paper towels no more, can you? Ha! I hid them where they wouldn't be in sight. And guess what? I am out of paper towels, and they on the right way when I do put them on. I hope you have a blessed day. Get the neighbors over. Have a good time. God bless you, each and every one. Look down here. What is it? Hit the button that says subscribe. We appreciate it.